Ever feel like you're stuck on a treadmill setting the same goals over and over again? Well, today we're going to break down the system designed to get you off that treadmill for good. It's called the Big System, and it's all about how to escape what's known as the 92% trap.
So let's just kick things off with a feeling I bet a lot of us know all too well. You're swamped all week, right? Constantly working, emails flying, meetings. But when you finally hit Friday, you kind of look back and think, what did I actually get done? Sound familiar? Okay, now take a look at these statements on the screen. Do any of them just hit a little too close to home? If you're nodding along to even one of these, you are not alone. This is exactly what it feels like to be caught in the 92% trap, this state of constant motion but without any real, meaningful progress.
So, what is this trap, really? Before we can talk about a solution, we have to really get our heads around the problem. And here's a little spoiler alert. It has absolutely nothing to do with working harder.
The name comes from a pretty staggering and kind of depressing statistic. A massive 92% of people who set goals never actually achieve them. Just let that sink in for a second. That's almost everybody. And it perfectly explains that feeling of spinning your wheels but going nowhere.
And this right here, this is the whole point. The problem isn't laziness, and it's not a lack of ambition. The real enemy is distraction. We're just pulled in a million different directions, trying to push everything forward all at once. And what's the result? We don't make any real progress on, well, anything.
All right, so how do we bust out of this thing? The solution is, and you're gonna love this, it's surprisingly simple. But honestly, that's exactly what makes it so incredibly powerful. Just look at this chart. It lays out a super harsh truth about focus. When you concentrate on just 1 to 3 goals, bam, your achievement level is high. But watch what happens when you start adding more goals to your plate. Your effectiveness just nosedives. Your energy gets spread so thin that it can't make a real dent in anything.
And this brings us right to the heart of the whole system, finding your one big. It's an acronym, and it stands for a single, bold, impactful goal that you chase with a system for a super focused 90-day sprint. So why 90 days? Well, it's the sweet spot. It's long enough to see massive progress, but it's short enough that you can maintain that intense laser focus. It's all about channeling every ounce of your energy into the one thing that will make the biggest difference.
Okay, this all sounds great, but how do you actually find your one big? Because let's be real, choosing the right goal is every bit as important as the focus you're going to give it. The process is actually refreshingly simple. First, you just do a massive brain dump. Get every single goal, every project, every idea out of your head and down on paper. Then from that big list, you score your top contenders. And finally, the hard part. You make the disciplined choice to commit to just one for the next 90 days. So how do you score them? You run them through these 3 key questions. First up, is this thing transformative? Is it a total game changer? Second, does it create leverage? Meaning, will achieving this make other goals way easier or maybe even irrelevant? And third, can you actually make huge progress on it in 90 days? The one that scores the highest and the one that really genuinely excites you, that's your one big. Okay, you've got your goal. Awesome. Now, how do you actually know if you're making progress? Because you know what they say, what gets measured gets managed. Now, the system makes this really crucial distinction. The lag measure is the big result you want. It's the destination, like lose 10 pounds. You can't directly control that. But the lead measures, those are the actions, the levers you can pull that you do have control over, like exercise 3 times per week. The whole secret is to stop obsessing over the result and start obsessing over the actions that'll get you there. And listen, this is not something you hide away in some spreadsheet on your laptop. No way. The system demands a big, visible scoreboard. Put it on your wall, on your fridge, somewhere you cannot possibly ignore it. And why is this so important? Because that constant visual reminder of how you're doing creates this powerful psychological pull that just forces you to stay on track. It makes the whole thing feel like a winnable game. But how do you actually make all this stick? This last piece, this is the glue that holds everything together. It's the engine that keeps you going, especially on those days when your motivation just completely vanishes. We're talking about accountability. First, you have to be really honest with yourself and identify your enemy. What's your personal kryptonite? Are you constantly getting sucked into the whirlwind of daily urgent tasks? Or maybe you're a shiny object person, always chasing the next new exciting idea. You've got to name your biggest distraction before you can build a defense against it.
The real heartbeat of this entire system is a super quick weekly accountability session. It has 3 simple parts. First, you report on your numbers. Did you hit your lead measures? No stories, no excuses, just the data. Second, you share one thing you learned. And third, you make a very specific commitment for the week ahead. You know, just the simple act of saying your commitment out loud to another human being, it is a complete game changer. It's not just a private thought in your head anymore. It's a public promise. And that little bit of social pressure is an incredibly powerful force that makes it so much more likely you'll actually follow through. So at the end of the day, the difference between the 92% who fail and the 8% who succeed, it isn't about talent and it's not about luck. It's about having a system for relentless focus and execution. So I'll just leave you with this final question to chew on. What is the one thing that, if you achieved it in the next 90 days, would be a massive, undeniable win for you?